Alright, so let's talk about how some of our Super Eagles players performed in UEFA club competitions this week. We had players playing on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in the Champions League and Europa League. We're going to be talking about their performances, and we're also going to be talking about a number of players who did not get on the pitch. Before we get into all that though, please make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you very much. And we start with Super Eagles winger I Chukwueze. He played for his club AC Milan on Tuesday in the Champions League. They took on Slovan Bratislava of Slovakia. Match ended 3-2 in favor of AC Milan. I Chukwueze played 90 minutes in this one. His first appearance since he scored that wonder goal for the Super Eagles against Rwanda. Did not play over the weekend for his club. And now he got the start plus the 90 minutes. Pretty good performance for I Chukwueze. I wouldn't say it's the best of performances. Did have some moments that were not the best. He had a break in the second half. It was like a 2v1. And all he had to do was get past the player. And it was almost a sure goal situation. But the ball just got taken away from him. And that was tough. You go back to the first goal that was scored by Slovan Bratislava. It was a I Chukwueze shot that was blocked and taken away for the goal. Really a freak type of situation. You can't blame him for that one right there. But you talk about the game. He had 75 touches of the ball, completed 43 passes out of the 51 he attempted, 84%. 2 key passes made in the game. Of course, that's 2 good chances for the team created. 3 shots taken, 1 off target, 2 blocked. One of them that was blocked looked like it was going right on target, and it was just taken away. With the dribbles, 3 out of 5 completed, 3 completed out of the 5 he attempted. Like I said earlier, with that situation, the 2v1 ball taken away. So I guess that's one of the 2 that he didn't complete. One thing I did like, actually 2 things I'm about to talk about right now. The first one, aerials, 3 out of 5. He won 3 out of the 5 that he went for, and that's real nice. There was one that I saw, and the guy that he was jumping with was about as tall as Osimhen, and he goes up there, gets his head on the ball. Okay, maybe not as tall as Osimhen, but he was pretty tall though. I Chukwueze, not the tallest of fellas, gets up there, gets his head on the ball, wins it nicely. Then the tackles, another important part. 3 out of 5 shows that he's working off the ball and not just exercising off the ball, actually doing stuff, actually trying to win the ball back, pressing for his team and stuff like that. And speaking of off-ball work, you had I Chukwueze picking up a yellow card in the second half. Just a reckless looking tackle. I liked it though, because he's getting stuck in. That's what you need to do. You got to make a mark one way or another. He had lost the ball. The team had lost the ball. The man was about to get away, and he just chops him down. Gets the yellow card, and I felt like well-deserved, but well played from I Chukwueze. And I'm liking that part. You need that part of your game at the top level. It's not just about having skill, talent, all that. You got to have some other intangibles to bring to the table, and I feel like I Chukwueze is finally getting all that together. But next up, we're going to move to Germany and talk about Super Eagles winger Tella. Tella plays for Bayer Leverkusen, and they took on RB Salzburg. A big win for Bayer Leverkusen. 5-0. They won that match. And Tella came off the bench, 68th minute of the match. And for me, I feel like he did pretty good. 16 touches of the ball, 6 passes completed out of the 8, 75%. 1 key pass made. He had 3 shots, 1 off target, 2 blocked, 1 dribble completed out of the 2, 1 aerial out of 1, 1 tackle out of 1, 1 interception. I felt like he was just active when he came into the game. He wasn't just there to go through the motions and see the game out. You look at the key pass he made. He was on the right wing, makes a nice pass inside the box straight to his man, who takes a strike at goal, and It was just the goalkeeper's great save that kept that ball out of the back of the net. So I felt like Nathan Tella had a good game. And speaking of the game, of course you can't talk about Bayer Leverkusen without talking about that man, Super Eagles striker Victor Boniface. And he was not part of this game right here. Did not suit up. Missed his second straight game for Bayer Leverkusen ever since the international break. Reported by his coach that he picked up an injury in that match in Uyo against Rwanda. Now, according to Xavi Alonso, Bayer Leverkusen's head coach, he says it's a thigh injury. Not too sure of the timetable for recovery, but we do know he has missed the last 2 matches his team played. Now, outside of that, there's the not so cool report going around on Victor Boniface. Made the news for the absolute wrong reason. There's an online post. He's on it. He's driving, going over the speed limit while using his phone, and somebody felt like it was wise or funny to record him and post it. And even after that, Victor Boniface liked the post, according to the reports. And now he's in a little bit of hot water because you're not supposed to go over the speed limit while using a phone. Oh, by the way, like over a month ago, you just got in a serious car accident and you're doing this. So that's not cool right there. And whoever recorded it is definitely not cool also. I don't understand what's going on in the world. Like, you can't see something and not record it. Why would you record a crime, a whole crime? You're not supposed to go over the speed limit and you're doing so. That's a crime. Why would you record it? Like, people are getting ridiculous with this social media, trying to get clout and stuff. And Victor Boniface, why would you, for any reason, go like the video? Like, that's why you need people around you with common sense and with calm minds, because apparently not everybody has the ability to just think about stuff, because that's crazy right there. And with Victor Boniface, they are currently trying to work on a new contract for him at Bayer Leverkusen, and this right here pops up. Definitely not cool at all. I know Victor Boniface is the funny guy, the personality. We love and love that, but this right here is going too far, and he just got to reel it in a little bit. Not saying you shouldn't be posting online and doing what you normally do, but this right here, you're going overboard with this. You can't text and drive, apparently. And when you text and drive, don't record yourself. Let's try that. Let's try not recording ourselves while we're doing stuff we're not supposed to be doing. Especially, you got to read the room. You just got in an accident and you're doing this. Now people are thinking like, hey, were you the one who caused the accident on yourself? Like, people are now thinking like that because of the situation you put yourself into right now. So, not cool right there. Next up, we're going to talk about one of the 3 players who didn't get off the bench for their team's matchup. Super Eagles star forward Ademola Lookman of Atalanta. Atalanta took on Young Boys also on Tuesday. Match ended 6-1 in favor of Atalanta, who actually were on the road for the game. And Ademola Lookman was not used for the whole 90 minutes, was on the bench for his team, but just not used for the whole game. So what I think happened here was they arrested him for the Cyriel. I think it's pretty much common sense. They're second place on the table, 1 point behind leaders Napoli, tied on points with like 3 other teams. It's a tight race right now in Italy. They're playing Roma over the weekend. Roma not doing so good this season, but Roma is Roma. That's a tough matchup. So you're resting your best player, and hopefully he's ready to go when that matchup comes up, because everything is to play for in the league right now. They could really make history and win this league as Atalanta. So, yeah, that's totally understandable that Ademola Lookman would be missing this match right here, especially when you handle business 6-1 away from home. And moving on, we're going to talk about Raphael Onyedika. Raphael Onyedika plays for Club Brugge in Belgium, and he's a defensive midfielder. Played 90 minutes for his club against Celtic on Wednesday in the Champions League. that matchup ended 1-1 between the two sides. Now, Raphael Onyedika had 61 touches of the ball, completed 47 passes out of the 52 he attempted for 90%. One key pass made all the way from the defensive midfield position, by the way. 3 tackles completed out of the 3 attempted, and 1 interception in the game. For me, it was a real tough game between the two sides. Celtic is a good team. It's a real good team. Of course, Brandon Rodgers, head coach over there, finally looking like he's getting things together. And Celtic look like a team that can cause issues. Not one of the upper echelon teams, obviously, as a team in Scotland, but they're a team that can really cause issues. And this was a tough game for Club Brugge. A 1-1 draw, not the best result, but definitely not the worst. And I felt like Raphael Onyedika did pretty good in the game. And next up, we're going to talk about the second player that wasn't in action, but it's still some news. It's still some news, I feel. Zaidu Sanusi was on the bench for FC Porto in their Europa League matchup against RSC Anderlecht of Belgium. The match ended 2-2 between the two sides, and of course, this is just great to see Zaidu Sanusi at least close to being back in action with his team. Has actually had a couple appearances in the second division with the Porto B side. Played 90 minutes in both, one at the ending of October and one at the beginning of this month right here. So definitely great to see Zaidu Sanusi back. Had a long-term injury and he has bounced back hopefully, and we can get to see more and more of him in the Europa League and in Portugal. But moving on, and we're going to talk about Super Eagles star striker Victor Osimhen. Of course, he plays for Galatasaray in Turkey, and they took on AZ Alkmaar of Netherlands in their Europa League matchup this yesterday. Victor Osimhen played 90 minutes for Galatasaray, had 26 touches of the ball, 9 passes completed out of the 13 he attempted, 69%. 1 key pass made, 7 shots taken, 3 on target, 3 off, and 1 block. 2 for 5 when it comes to aerials. Victor Osimhen had a goal in this match. He scored a goal in the second half. A ball in the box. He heads it from a tight angle, really an impossible angle. Gets it past everybody, really. The defender kind of makes a hash of it. It gets past the line. Even though they put it out, the referee didn't give the goal right away. But later on, he gives the goal. And it was 1-1 because Galatasaray was down 1-0 from early on. And it looked like AZ Alkmaar really could have won that game. If they had like the commentator said, if they had Victor Osimhen, they would have been winning the game by like 5 or 6-0 because they had so many chances, especially in the first half. I feel like Galatasaray just falls asleep for some reason. So that might be something why they don't win this competition, even though they have the talent to win this competition right here. But Victor Osimhen, a good game, had a late goal canceled for offside. He was clearly offside on that one. Came from an offside position, gets his head on the ball, goes past the goalkeeper. Everybody celebrating, but the linesman was on point. Definitely an offside on that one, and the score still remained 1-1. But moving on, and we're going to talk about the third Super Eagles player that did not see any action, and that player is probably the only one that was thinking he would see some action. Fisayo Dele-Bashiru, the midfielder for Lazio, and he was on the bench for the whole 90 minutes as they played a goalless draw against Ludogorets of Bulgaria. And my issue with that right there is the fact that Fisayo Dele-Bashiru scored his first goal in the Serie A just this last weekend. And you're not going to give the guy a chance to at least see if it can help you out in this goalless draw right here. Maybe 80 minutes, bring him into the game, 85, even 89 minutes. No time, that's not kind of right. But it is what it is. The coach makes all the decisions, and you just got to go with it. But I know Fisayo Dele-Bashiru is primed for a run in the Serie A and the Europa League. If he gets his chance, this is a player that's going to do the job. I'm telling you, he has the mindset. You can see it in his eyes that he's ready to go. He's ready for all the smoke, like they say. He wants the battles. He wants to get in there. He wants to be the guy that scores that goal. And he's not scared of the big moments or the bright lights. He's not scared of any of that. He's ready to go. So I feel like once he gets his opportunity, he's going to take off Fisayo Dele-Bashiru. And moving on, next up, we're going to talk about Kevin Akpoguma, Super Eagles central defender. Actually a player that got his call up, got a couple of appearances, then stopped getting called up to the Super Eagles. But with his club side, he has remained consistent playing for him. And he played 90 minutes in the Europa League in their matchup against Braga. They lost the game by 3-0, but I don't see any of the goals as Kevin Akpoguma's fault. The first one was a mistake by the goalkeeper, passing it out straight to the opponent, basically, who smacks it, gets it in the back of the net. Second goal, they give away the ball at midfield. Next thing you know, it's on the other side, and the player smacks it first time. It goes into the back of the net. Third goal, there are two players covering one, and the guy gets away from him outside the box, makes his way into the box, shoots it, it gets blocked, and it falls perfectly for the guy outside the box. I kid you not, he smackarooed that thing. Goalkeeper didn't see it, camera didn't see it, I didn't see it. It goes in the back of the net, 3-0. But Kevin Akpoguma, I felt like he had a good game, even with all that. And the numbers don't lie. 100 touches of the ball. He had the most touches of anybody on his team. 81 passes completed out of the 89 he attempted. That's 91%. 6 aerials, 1 out of 7. 4 tackles out of 4 successful, and 2 clearances in the game. It was no nonsense in the game, but just kind of let down by his teammates, if we're going to keep it real. We've talked about Kevin Akpoguma. I do feel like, hey, give the guys the opportunity, bring him in. If he has to watch, if he has to sit back and learn, we can do that, because he's showing that even at his club side, this is a consistent player. So I don't see why he shouldn't be at least close to the Super Eagles as of right now. Next, we're going to talk about Super Eagles striker Cyriel. Cyriel plays for Rangers in Scotland, and they took on Nice of France in the Europa League. A big win for Rangers. They won it by 4-1. Cyriel came into the game at the 69-minute mark of the bench. 14 touches of the ball was what he had. 7 passes completed out of 10. 2 shots taken, both were off target, and 1 dribble out of the 2 he attempted. Now, Cyriel kind of had a slow start to the season. Picked up a couple of weeks ago, scored 3 goals in 3 straight matches. No goals in the last 2 though, but I definitely feel like Cyriel is a player that can get it together. And he has the mentality, has been through situations like this before. Of course, when he was in Belgium, he was supposed to be the starting striker over Paul Onuachu. Paul Onuachu comes up and takes his position. He then goes out on loan and makes his own way. Ended up doing pretty good at the club he went to on loan. And that's how we got this move right here. So I feel like he has the mental psyche to be able to bounce back from just about anything in football. And hopefully we see that in this situation that he's in right now this season. But moving on, and we're going to talk about Super Eagles striker Sadiq Umar. Sadiq Umar plays for Real Sociedad in the La Liga, and they took on Ajax of Amsterdam. In their matchup, the game ended 2-0 in favor of Real Sociedad. Sadiq Umar came into the game at the 89-minute mark. Not much to do when he came in the game. 3 touches, 1 pass completed out of the 3 he attempted, and that was just about it for Sadiq Umar. You also had Chuba Akpom in the game. He played 90 minutes for Ajax. Had a pretty good game in my opinion. 35 touches, 18 passes completed out of 21 for 86%. 1 key pass, 3 shots taken, 1 off target and 2 blocked. 3 dribbles completed out of the 4 he attempted. 4 aerials, 1 out of the 4 he went for. 1 tackle out of 1 successful. Then you had 1 clearance in the game. Pretty good performance from Chuba Akpom in my opinion. Then Last but not least, we talk about the Fenerbahce man, Bright Osayi-Samuel, Jose Mourinho's disciple right now. Bright Osayi-Samuel, fullback for both Super Eagles and Fenerbahce. He played 90 minutes for Fenerbahce against Slavia Prague in their Europa League matchup. It ended 2-1 in favor of Fenerbahce. Bright Osayi-Samuel, 58 touches of the ball, 21 passes completed out of 27 for 78%, 3 aerials, 1 out of 4, 4 tackles, 1 out of 4, 2 clearances, and 2 interceptions. Another strong, tough game from Bright Osayi-Samuel. Another thing to note is the fact that the yellow cards have kind of slowed down in the past few matches. Past 3 matches, no yellow cards picked up by Bright Osayi-Samuel, so congratulations to him on that little win right there. But that being said, let me know what you think about these performances. Also, let me know who you think had the best performance out of all the players in the Champions League and the Europa League. Put it in the comment section. And please don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.